Welcome to Episode 1 of the Divine Program. Today, we are beginning a journey to rediscover the foundation of all religious thought, the living and true God. In an age where new philosophies are constantly emerging, we are going back to the source to ask the most fundamental question: who is the Creator? Is he a force, an energy, or is he a person with a plan? This is the first step in understanding the divine program. Let's start with human nature itself, the capacity for worship and reverence a power greater than themselves. It is found in nearly every intelligent being. Even in the darkest places of the earth, this instinctive appreciation for a higher power exists. It is the mental anchor and the fulcrum for all moral and social uplift. Without this center of balance, philanthropists would lose all heart in trying to help the race. Whoever undermines this element of the mind is unknowingly doing a destructive work. But today, many of our most brilliant intellectuals are drifting into a fog. They are moving away from the living God toward the idea of an impersonal God. You hear it when people use nature as a synonym for the Creator, or when they claim that God is simply goodness found in a tree, a rock, or a tea kettle. They tell us that because a chair is useful, and usefulness is good, God is in the chair. While this might sound poetic, it ultimately destroys faith. By making God everything, they make him a non-entity. This brings us to a logical problem. How can an impersonal force, like gravity or electricity, have a will, a plan, or a program? An energy field cannot love you. It cannot have a purpose for your life. The Bible challenges this view directly. He that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. While many creeds confuse the issue by claiming God is omnipresent, everywhere at once, the scriptures consistently affirm his personality. Let's look at this through the lens of simple logic. We know that humanity is currently the highest type of earthly intelligence. Logic dictates that a creator must be superior to the thing created, not inferior. We cannot create even a simple worm. Therefore, the one who created us must be separated from us by a gulf wider than that between us and the worm. It stands to reason that the noblest of our talents, our ability to think, to plan, to love, are merely feeble reflections of those same qualities in our Creator. The existence of an intelligent creature proves there is an even greater intelligent Creator. The Bible tells us clearly that God is a spirit, but being a spirit does not mean he is without form or personality. It simply means he does not have a body of flesh and blood like we do. He is a being with a distinct nature. In fact, the scriptures tell us that Jesus is the express image of his person. We are not worshiping a space-pervading mist, but a divine person. To help our finite minds grasp this, the Bible uses metaphors we can understand. It speaks of the hand of the Lord to describe his divine power, and the eye of the Lord to describe his divine wisdom. It tells us his ear is bowed down to hear the groaning of the prisoner. These aren't descriptions of a shapeless force. They are pictures of a personal creator who thinks, feels, exercises power, and shows kindness. He interacts with his creation. He that formed the eye, shall he not see? He that formed the ear, shall he not hear? Psalm 94:9. We often hear the word omnipresence, the idea that God is physically everywhere. But this term is found in the creeds, not the Bible. The scriptures give God a specific home. Heaven is his throne, and the earth is his footstool. Isaiah 66:1. This location is vital for our relationship with him. When Jesus was resurrected, he didn't dissolve into the universe. He said, "I ascend to my Father and to your Father, to my God and to your God." John 20:17. This confirms a distinct location and a personal being. You might ask, if God is in heaven, how does he control the universe? Think of modern technology. If puny man can communicate via Wi-Fi around the globe or transmit pictures through the air using modern technology, why should we limit the Creator? From His throne in heaven, His influence and power pervade the entire universe. He does not need to be physically present to be in control of it. He is the architect, operating through infinite agencies. This distinction matters because you cannot have a relationship with a force. An impersonal God implies no lawgiver, no judge, and most importantly, no father. The very basis of Christian faith is the relationship between father and child. We are taught to pray, "Our Father, which art in heaven." Whoever cultivates this reasonable thought of a personal God learns to love Him and seeks to know Him and desires His care. Because He is a person, He knows you. Jesus said, "Are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing? And not one of them shall fall to the ground without your Father." He went on to say that the very hairs of your head are all numbered. This is the comfort of a personal God. "Fear not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows." Matthew 10:31. So why do so many reject this personal God? It is because of the voices from the dark ages that have slandered His character. These old traditions painted a portrait of a God who was cruel, a God who commanded us to love our enemies, while He prepared eternal torture for His own enemies. Our reasoning minds rebel against such inconsistency, and rightly so. We must reject the view of these dark ages to rediscover the true character of our Father in heaven. When we clear away the errors of the past, we find a God who is the very embodiment of justice, wisdom, love, and power. We see a Creator who is infinitely superior to our own and highest human ideals. He who gave us the power of sympathy and love is Himself the author of those powers and must have them in the superlative degree. This is a God worthy of our reverence, our devotion, and our service. We are living in a time of great privilege. Our forefathers read the Bible with the smoking lamps of the past and often had blurred vision. But today, we can read the divine program in the brightness of increased knowledge and understanding. If we approach the Bible now, free from ancient superstitions, we find it to be a storehouse of divine grace and truth that perfectly satisfies both our hearts and our minds. In our continuing study of the divine program, we will cultivate our appreciation of a righteous and personal Creator, the living and true God. In so doing, we will establish our own hearts in balance and truth and righteousness, knowing that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. Hebrews 11:6. Thank you for watching. Would you like to know more? Like and subscribe. God bless you.